Hey now guys, what is happening? I am back with a new perspective of my camera. Maybe I'll move a little this way, I don't know. But get some of my epics in that shot there. But I am back guys, finally after 4 days of reading since Saturday. Actually, Saturday was when I finished ROM Volume 1 and I started this later in the day. So technically this is like 3.5 days, I think, of me reading. Maybe I'll do that. Oh yeah, you guys were like, oh, you should be in some better lighting. So here we go. So that you guys can see me and the book. And I'll even show you some interior pages. So yes, for those of you who don't know, Stan Lee wrote this. We're going all the way back to the 60s. This is Volume 1, The Golden Avenger, covering 1963 to 1965. The early to mid 60s. The first 34 issues of Iron Man's appearance in Tales of Suspense, number 39, all the way to 72. 39, that sounds like a lot of numbers, and it was, reading 34 issues. And, you know, it's Stan Lee. What can I say? A lot of communist stuff, a lot of red stuff, or the red Chinese, the Soviet Russians, this one, that one. Cuba is even thrown under the bus because we all hated Cuba back then. We all hated China, Cuba, and Russia, which hasn't changed in the last 50 plus years. I mean, or 60 now, 60 years, right? 2025, yeah, 62 years, 60 to 62 years, basically, between this time span. Nothing has changed. We still hate Cuba, we still hate Russia, we still hate China. I do anyway. Because they're communists. They're pieces of trash, even to this day. I mean, but that's besides the point. Long story short, guys, Stan Lee's writing is still not worth a damn. I was thinking it's crap. I mean, it is, but I know some of you guys out there might like Stan Lee's writing. Some of you might find it charming. Indeed, it is charming for its time, but it's very hollow in character development. Depiction of women, depiction of villains, no backstory for anybody. Even when there's an origin of somebody, it's just long and drawn out. It's wordy. You might as well be reading Charles Dickens or Shakespeare. For those of you who are not familiar with that writing or that material, that's pretty much what it is to read Stan Lee's writing. It's just gobbledygook. But we do get treated to a lot of first appearances, not just Iron Man, which is the very first issue in this with issue 39. There's also the first appearances of Happy Hogan, which interestingly enough, I didn't even know his first name was Harold. Harold, Happy Hogan, and Virginia Pepper Potts, both of whom debuted in issue 45, along with Jack Frost, who was a villain. We get first appearances. We get an appearance by a guy named Dr. Strange, but it's not Dr. Stephen Strange. Apparently it's Dr. Carlo Strange in issue 41. We get the Red Barbarian in number 42. Kala, the Queen of the Underground, or the Netherworld, who will later on, what was it? She comes back. She was instrumental in the war between Tyrannus and the Mole Man. She debuted in issue 43. Issue 44 has Tony Stark going back in time to ancient Egypt to meet Cleopatra because some dude named Hatap is trying to take over her kingdom. So Tony Stark woos, as Iron Man, he woos Cleopatra. Like I mentioned, 45, we get Pepper and Happy. 46, we get the first appearance of Crimson Dynamo. 47, we get the first appearance of the Melter. 48, the first appearance of Mr. Doll, who is basically the puppet master, but lamer. 49, we get probably the first and only crossover of a guest appearance. The X-Men, Xavier and the X-Men guest star in an Iron Man book for the first and only time that I can remember. But he's actually fighting the Angel. The Angel is the antagonist of the story. And then 50, we had the first appearance of the Mandarin. 51, we had the first appearance of somebody. Hold on. First appearance of the Scarecrow, right? The Scarecrow, blind as a bat. The Scarecrow's in issue 51. Issue 52 has the first appearance of the Black Widow, who also uses the Crimson Dynamo again for her nefarious purposes. 52 and 53 is not a two-part storyline, but it features an appearance by the Black Widow. So she appears in 52 first, then 53. 54 and 55 is a two-part story with the Mandarin. We got 56, 57. 57 is the first appearance of Hawkeye. Then we got 58, 59. 59 has an appearance of the Black Knight. What does 58 have? I forget. Oh yeah, I forgot about issue 40. A lot of the stories are pretty mid. But yeah, we get, of course, the first appearance of Tony Stark and Iron Man in issue 39. There's, of course, references to the Vietnam War, which was going on back then. Oh yeah, Gargantus. Gargantus was another lame. It's a robot that was put on Earth by aliens, and it cuts off this town in Virginia, I think, or West Virginia. Yeah, Gargantus, a big Neanderthal robot. Yeah. Oh yeah. Issue 56 is the first appearance of the Unicorn, another communist agent. We get Titanium Man later on in issue, was it 69 actually. It's a three-part storyline, 69, 70, and 71 with the Titanium Man. Happy Hogan almost dies. 72, the Mad Thinker shows up. He actually shows up towards the end in the last issue of 72, but he's also dealing with Iron Man earlier with the Awesome Android. Let's see. Hawkeye and Black Widow come back again in issue 60 and 64, which of course were featured in the Hawkeye Volume 1 epic and the Black Widow Volume 1 epic as well. Who's that? Okay. What else? 61, 62 shows the origin of the Mandarin. Again, long-winded, drawn-out story of him being some kid who was raised by his evil aunt who hates him, but she raises him and he becomes a prick, a Chinese prick. And yes, I will admit, when I was reading the Mandarin's lines, as well as the Chinese lines, I was reading it the way Stan Lee, I think, wrote it in his head, like, oh, hello, Iron Man, I am the Mandarin. So I did. It was fun, though. Maybe racist, a little racist, but it was fun because that is how Stan Lee, in his mind, wrote the story. He would say, ha so. He wrote the Chinese people saying, oh, ha so. Hello, I will get you with my evil power rings. So I did it that way. And of course, I did my Russian accents when it was needed with Black Widow, with Titanium Man, with Crimson Dynamo. Funny, I learned that Crimson Dynamo was actually a villain at first in issue 46 and then defected into America rather than face his Russian commie bastard Soviet leaders. A lot of pot shots towards Nikita Brezhnev, who was the prime minister of Russia at the time. A lot of references to, Ed Sullivan and Kennedy, who of course died during the stories featured in this volume. Nothing really that sticks to mind as like, whoa, because of course this is Stan Lee, and Stan Lee just doesn't have the tangibility or the ability to make anything stick that is meaningful at all. But guys, if you're looking for some charming 60s stories that are way too corny and cheesy, but there's a charm to it, and a heck of a lot of first appearances. Oh yeah, he fights Atuma at one point. Atuma, who's a Submariner villain. He also rears his blue skin, ugly face in this. We see the evolution of his costume. Here we have the initial gray clunky suit. Then with some advice from his girlfriend, he spray paints it gold. So then we get the gold clunky outfit. Is this it? Yeah, the gold clunky Iron Man outfit. And then later on, right at issue 40, the Melter melts that clunky piece of crap armor in issue 47. So then he builds the one we know and love. Now it's still clunky, still golden clunky. He's still golden clunky, Really nice artwork, I gotta say, by Don Heck. Don Heck did most of the pencils, and he was inked along with Mickey DeMeo, Dick Ayers, Chick Stone, Vince Colletta, Paul Reinman. Don Heck himself did his own inks and pencils. It gets better towards the later on in the series. But yeah, I don't know who the fuck this is. Who is this guy? A Russian, I think. Yeah, here's Brezhnev, Nikita Brezhnev. He was depicted here as the Soviet leader. No Kennedy appearances because they didn't want to talk about him, when he got assassinated and whatever. But they did mention President Johnson at one point. Tony Stark quotes him. Crimson Dynamo in a way ridiculous outfit that's supposed to be scary. Where is this? Yeah, so here's him fighting the Angel, which was actually one of my favorite issues because it featured the X-Men. This is his new costume now, Iron Man. Mr. Doll was such a retarded character. Love my guy Xavier. Steve, by the way, drawn by Steve Ditko, believe it or not. This is actually issue 49 of Tales of Suspense is the first and only time Steve Ditko ever drew the X-Men, to my knowledge. Maybe I'm wrong, guys, but as far as I can tell, this is his first rendering, Steve Ditko, of the X-Men. And no big deal, really. I mean, meh. But he's mostly known for drawing Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. What else did Ditko do? A bunch of other stuff. So it was actually pretty cool to see a Ditko rendering of the X-Men. Yeah, the Mandarin looks so fucking cheesy and corny. He debuted in issue 50 and continued to menace Iron Man, like I said, in 54 and 55, 61 and 62. Beautiful rendering of Pepper. Pepper Potts right here, who of course looks like Jean Grey, Mary Jane. But I like it. I don't know what they were going with Happy Hogan. Like at first he was like a big brawling bruiser, ex-boxer, and then he became like a sad sack, like a sad bum who's just a chauffeur that Tony doesn't even use. He doesn't even use him as a chauffeur or a bodyguard because he has Iron Man. So what the fuck was Happy's function anyway? I don't even know. But Pepper, it's funny also, Pepper looked initially like Schultzy from the TV show, the Bob Cummings show back in the 50s and 60s. They made her so like not pretty, and then they made her pretty. And it was like, we got to make her, yeah, was this it? Yeah, like in the beginning, she's all frumpy and brown-haired, and they gave her freckles, and then they gave her this va-va-va-voom red hairstyle, and she looks like a fucking supermodel. And Tony is like, oh my God, I'm in love with Pepper. Oh God, I love her. Oh. But meanwhile, he's dating all these actresses and debutantes and whatever. Again, Stanley doesn't know how to... Stanley is taking what he sees in daytime soap operas of the time, daytime soap operas, science fiction anthology series, TV sitcoms, and I don't know, women. Like whatever woman he sees on the streets on TV or in life, maybe his own wife. And guys too. Guys are so sexist, and they're just like, shut up, Pepper. This is man talk here. You don't belong here. She looks good though. Pepper Potts, Happy Hogan. Oh yeah, Captain America swings in. Captain America guest stars in issue 58, and then co-stars along with Iron Man. Not with him, but because it was a split book back then. Tales of Suspense, Tales to Astonish, Strange Tales. Not Journey into Mystery, I don't think, or maybe it was with the science fiction stories. But yeah, Tales of Suspense was truly a split book when Captain America joined with issue 59. Just like, it's funny, Captain America fought Iron Man in 58 and then became the co-star from 59 onward until he got his own series with issue 100 until issue 99. And then Hulk did the same thing on Tales to Astonish, guest starring in issue 59, fighting Giant Man, and then by issue 60 became the co-star, not the backup, but the second feature of the book. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, Pepper meets the Avengers, like the Wasp and all of them. This is around the time where Tony also leaves the Avengers and vouches for Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and Hawkeye to work with Captain America as the Kooky Quintet, they're called. And yeah, a lot of stuff. Tony Tony has problems with his heart, so he can't get out of his Iron Man costume. So then Pepper and Happy think maybe Iron Man murdered Stark, but it turns out he didn't. But then they hate Stark, Pepper hates Stark when Happy gets injured. There's a lot happens here. I don't know. I don't think this is available in stores. This has been long out of print. This is only the second print, which came out in 2019. The second edition of the second print, which is what this is, came out in 2020. The first print in 2014, which, as you can see, the font is different up here than the first print. So that's pretty much it. And yeah, and he fights. This is from issue 71, where he fights Titanium Man. This is from issue 52, which is Black Widow's first appearance, and she uses Crimson Dynamo to fight Stark. All right, and now moving on to the next volume, guys, which I will start tomorrow, will be volume 2 by Force of Arms, covering issues 73 to 99 of Tales of Suspense, and Tales to Astonish number 82, which Iron Man guest starred and fought right here. This is the issue, fought Submariner. And I guess this is Whiplash. So we're actually going to be heading further into the 60s. 1966 to 1968, which is volume 2. Tales of Suspense 73 to 99, Tales to Astonish number 82, Iron Man and Submariner number 1, and then Iron Man number 1. So we're going to actually get into the Iron Man series. We're going to go straight all the way to the very end of Tales of Suspense. That's going to get canceled. Captain America is going to get his own book with issue 100. And for whatever reason, they decided to restart and reboot Iron Man back to number 1. But I think actually this is the Submariner Iron Man number 1 issue. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. But it's cool. What I really like is, despite Stan Lee still being the writer, we're going to get Gene Colan as the penciler. And we all know from past books like Daredevil, Captain America, Doctor Strange, Colan revolutionized the pencils and artwork of Marvel and pretty much kicked Stan Lee in the ass to upgrade his writing, to step it up. So I'm actually looking forward to this. I love Gene Colan's pencils, and even Stan Lee's writing got better by the end of the 60s. So looking forward to this. This is going to be volume 2 by Force of Arms. I'm excited. Look, all the panels are bigger. All the lettering, the dialogue itself is so sparse. Like, Stan Lee even realized, you know what? I talk too much. I need to stop writing so much dialogue for these characters. Anyway, so this is going to be the next one, guys, in a couple of days. Look out for that review. All right, guys. As always, I read these epics so you don't have to, but I encourage you to read them, guys. They are awesome. I love these epics, and I love reading them for you. And it's funny, it's Iron Man. Never read an Iron Man book until now, so I'm really excited to get into it, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, or don't. Whatever. I don't care. But please keep reading the epics, guys. I love you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. And I hope you guys like the new display. Let me know what you think of this, and maybe I'll keep at it like this. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.